Hi, welcome to Geck T'Know. We are your hosts Natasha
and Gemma from Artgecko Sketch.
This is a podcast series dedicated to getting to know our art community.
From art tips to art advice, we'll be covering it all with a special guest each episode.
If you want to hear more about us, our artists or anything else, message us at Artgecko Sketch on Instagram.
And whilst you're there, please don't forget to give us a follow or subscribe to our channels.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another Geck T'Know, a GECK-TACULAR Geck T'Know. Today we are joined by the wonderful Obit Draws a Lot / Bal, who is a Brighton-based street artist. Is that how you describe yourself?
I don't know, I mainly just do drawing these days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like just overall arty farty shenanigans, basically.
Mate.
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks for joining. How are you? How's it all going? How's life?
Yeah, I'm all right actually. Fine. Just settling into the day. Nice to chat to you.
Yes, you too. Yeah. Thanks for joining and taking time out of your day just to jump on and have a quick chat and so we can get to know you. Right, well, first things first. Who are you? What do you do? What do you like doing?
I'll just do one at a time because I get confused.
Yeah,
so who am I?
Of course.
Yeah, so my name's Bal, that's my real name. But I normally when I paint or do graffiti or do my own drawing work, I go under Obit, and that changed to Lazyobit because I'm quite lazy at doing stuff. Yeah, so I run a little zine, and it's a bit of a graffiti crew as well and a bit of a social. It's called Gums and Tongue. I don't know if anyone's heard of those before.
I'll link it somewhere here for people to follow.
We're doing some really exciting stuff like that at the minute, but in the past we've been doing all sorts. So we do live drawing events, we do live graffiti events, we run a sketch club in East London that people come to once a month, and everyone's welcome to that one. I make zines periodically. I haven't done one in a couple of years, but they're quite infamous in the zine community. And I'm really into that self-publication.
Mm-hmm.
Speak about that and I also do illustration for money, so for corporate jobs. So I do most of my actual drawing that I do on a day-to-day basis is soulless, under non-disclosure agreement, and I'm the hired that goes there and does the drawing. But it's but that's really nice. I've worked on some really super weird, super exciting projects that are changing the world, and I don't get to talk to anyone about. So it's
damn, I was like, let's talk about that. No. We can talk about a little bit.
Yeah, I can talk about a few, but but it's nice, and it's nice seeing the other side of it's. I tell you what I love going into massive businesses, and like I'm not going to name drop clients, but like mad, like top companies, and you go in and everyone's like throwing their weight around, trying to be the best one, like they want their idea done, and then I'm like, I'm the only one. So you'll be there in like 20 execs, and say it's like a new chocolate bar or whatever, and then they'll all be, I want to be the one who has the new chocolate bar, and I'm like, well, I'm the only one. The only one that's going to get made is the one I draw. But it's really nice to have a skill that they haven't got, and then they've and suddenly they realise why all the, I don't know, artists have looked down on or whatever, but they've probably been more academic or more into business or whatever. Yeah. And then they realise it's like actually it's just as an important skill.
Oh god, yeah.
Because every product that exists in the world, every service, everything in the world was drawn by someone or designed by someone. So nothing would exist without them. So so it's nice that it all comes to art, really. And I think it's really important, if you're speaking to young artists, is that you don't have to be an artist. Like, you can be a drawer. Like, I don't often consider myself an artist so much. I love drawing, and like, and being able to draw without your artist ego involved is such an important skill. Like listening to someone and drawing what they're thinking about, and it's really nice for the other side of, if people are struggling and making money from their artwork, I'll always advise them do corporate work, easy.
Yeah, we'll definitely jump back into that, but like I completely agree. I think even if maybe you're not a conventional artist in the sense of you can technical draw to a mad standard, I think it's really important if you have a creative brain and you're feeling a little bit like, oh well, I am not the new, I don't know, Salvador Dali or something like that. I am not this person that everyone should be or you may think that you should be. Just by having maybe a creative brain or a mindset, I think it's such a valuable skill to have going into more conventional jobs. Because
and even Dali done jobs, like he did basic, just did design and print. He did the Chopper Chops logo. I don't know if you know the logo on that. He done that. Like he done loads of print design on just like little scarves and stuff like that. And it's just a wicked easy job. And that's how he really made money in life, I suppose. So don't feel bad about it.
No.
Sorry, went off the point. So yeah, I do. Yeah, so I do drawing. I do painting. I try and use. I'm really into utilizing, like you said, utilizing creative brain for innovation and other stuff. Like a lot of the jobs I work in are either like just to make stuff look nice, or it's innovation. So and the applications of that are beyond just art. Like we were speaking before, like I work in healthcare and just using as well, and just using creative like innovation brain on that is massive.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. Cool. Thanks so much for that. I'm definitely going to jump back into some of those topics. They were great. But to start things off, we're going to go back to basics. What's your favorite media to use in art, drawing, creativity, sketching, whatever? What's your like go-to?
I mean, my favorite thing is I love drawing cartoons.
Okay.
So I draw. I love doing drawings that are funny. I love doing drawings that communicate an idea, and the only way of doing that is pencil on paper and pens. Like, I think it's really good to try different mediums, like try all different stuff. But I like, what I'll tend to do is draw with a pencil. Like, it don't matter whether it's an IKEA pencil or some £2,000 mechanical pencil, it does the same job. Drawing my sketchbooks, I quite like your guys' ones, they go in your pocket. And or even just like paper off the printer, like A4 paper. Like if you just sit there and like just draw, like I'm gonna do 10 drawings, so sit there and do it. And then outline them in like microns or something like that. And then follow them in with a pro marker or felt tips, or sometimes I like to do like watercolor inks and stuff. It's quite nice. But all sorts, like, and I don't think you combine yourself. Like I love, I sometimes sit drawing with kids and stuff, and I do felt tips and crayons. Like I love doing that. Or take, if you've got a drawing brain, go take photos. It's well easy. All you do is press a button. Then
oh god, I can. I think. No, but like, I think if you've just got that, if you're just creatively like that kind of, you've got that mindset, you just like to just express yourself. Maybe you're not a talkie, you're not like a business mind, as we were saying earlier. Just do some doodling. Open your brain up with any possible art material you've got in front of you. Maybe even mud on a stick if you fancy.
In mud pies. Or with a mate, spray painting. Like,
sick.
Not so hard to transfer from drawing to spray painting. And I know, like, it can feel a bit hard to get into that graffiti world. I don't think it really is so much. Sadly, I was born with mischief in my brain and heart, so it makes it a bit easier. But yeah, I love spray painting. It's a really nice community, and I love painting with my mates. It's my most fun I have doing artwork is when I'm with just 3 or 4 of my painting friends. We'll go on a trip somewhere, act like idiots and paint stuff. You know, I love that. It's really nice.
That's
but
great.
Then still they're drawing each other sketchbooks and that. So yeah.
I was just wondering, do you have like in Brighton or wherever you do your sketching, do you get access to like free kind of art wall spaces that are specifically designed? I know that you're just kind of talking about just as in wherever you fancy, but like just out of interest, are there any spaces like that there?
Probably. All those places that are just calm. Like, I don't want to get on a mad one about philosophy, but like you're like doing anything creative, it's the only freedom we have left. Like everything else is gone. So you can't say what you want, you can't write what you want really as much anymore. But no one can stop you drawing or painting or doing what you want, and you shouldn't feel like that. Is it free will? I won't swear, but whether it's free will or not.
Yeah, like, free will. Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Like, and it should be an expression, not just of your creativity. It should be an expression of your liberty to.
Yeah.
Drawing in your book, no gods, no masters. You're doing what you want. That is the essence of true liberty.
Yeah, your space to open up, do whatever you want to do, and just be yourself. No judgments. It's just your sketchbook or just space in front of you.
Yeah, no, do what you do. Like, yeah. That's why I don't listen to the algorithm either. Just draw it.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's the worst. I hate it so much. Very cool. How do you keep inspired then over time? Like when you're just creating, or is it just a case of maybe it's like your escapism, is your creative outlet just how you feel the freedom, or is it just?
I mean, it's something I really struggle with, and I go through massive periods of not doing anything, like or I don't make a drama about it, but I'm like, I'm not drawing ever again. So
fair enough.
I'll turn into like that horrible person because I really struggle. But it's more that liberty thing. Like, I really struggle with not just doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
It can be quite hard, especially if you're doing jobs, like because you're using your creative energy.
Yeah.
But inspiration, I don't know. But then that's kept me on track a lot of the time. Like I think having a brief is really good for inspiration. You having taking on a client, getting the job, and getting really wound up with them, and you still have to do it anyway. For me, that's really good. Like I just I find that having to do it quite inspirational, rather than I'm not gonna lie and say, I'll put my classical music on and dance around like anyone's really. But I'm really into nature as well. Like I go out in nature 2-3 times a week, and I'll have long walks. And I just love the world. Like I find it so amazing. Like I'm really finding things so beautiful. And I'm looking out my window now, and there's like little birds out there and stuff. And like if I wanted to, I could sit down and draw all that. But so there's a difference between inspiration and motivation, I suppose. But yeah, I guess I do. That's a bit of a lie. I feel inspired quite a lot. But I don't feel motivated to do work a lot, unless someone's giving me money.
I think that's one massive thing about, like, especially being creative and artistic. And there's a fine line between your own personal, like, that's what am I trying to say here? I think it's absolutely fine to only take certain jobs because you physically need to at the time, or maybe you're just not feeling like you want to do something, you don't want to create. I think that you're allowed to do whatever you want. I think there's a lot of
no one's better than the next person.
No.
People, like, I know people that are well-known artists who do their own style all day long, and they're just as wound up as the person who's working in the coffee shop to pay their bill, and then doing probably that person in the coffee shops are happier with their artwork, to be honest. It doesn't take anything away from your artistic ability to have another job. Like I like to do other stuff as well, you know, like it's good to work hard, whatever you do. And then and that frees you up to just take on what you want. Yeah. So I actually agree with doing jobs just to pay the bills, unless if it's taken away from your artistic credibility.
Yeah.
Because then that's an infringement upon your ability.
Yeah. Or like, for example, sorry, I'm jumping in here, but if you feel like you have the space and you're able to create, yet the jobs that you may be doing is hindering that, and the amount of work you want to do, and you feel maybe lesser of yourself for doing these other jobs, I think that's maybe a little bit of maybe a different issue. But there is no issues with doing other stuff other than drawing all day.
You're doing something valuable for society. Like if you're doing or doing stuff where you're meeting people and like meeting other minds and stuff. Like if you're gonna go sit in an office all day and like tap away on a spread. I'm sorry if you do that, but like if you if you're doing that, there's not as much value in that, I don't think. But if you're better being that person in the coffee shop, or go work in a hospital or hospice or something, and chat to people and like and use your creative energy into doing something good.
Yeah, positivity. Yeah.
Internet, and you get paid for that stuff. So everyone's a winner. Like it's not stealing your creative energy. It's you get inspired by people you chat to, and you're making them feel nice. So and you get money. So everyone's a winner, right?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
But you definitely don't need to be a full-time artist to be a legitimate artist.
No,
in my opinion.
No way. No. If there's anything on my experience with every single, or most of the artists that we talk to on these podcasts, and most of the Artgecko community, I want to say the majority are people like us, for example, who work multiple jobs as well as do creative things as well, and it's just life. I think it's quite healthy, to be honest. I think sometimes you can get yourself into a bit of a box if you just sit and stare at a piece of paper all day and you're like, oh, I can't draw, I don't like it.
Oh, it's the work. But then you have to keep active and keep doing stuff to get more. But it's fine. Do you want it? I don't care.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's all good. As long as you're happy and no one else is getting harmed, you're all good.
Don't be happy. The worst thing you can do for your artwork is be happy. So.
Oh dear, cool. How did you get into doing the commercial stuff then? Like, how did that all happen, or was it just a natural progression?
No. Like it's just by luck. And I grew up, I was punk rock, right? So I played in bands, and I was quite anti-establishment. Like I said, I did Squat Life, and I think it was really nice upbringing for my brain and stuff. I got into doing live artwork because like I've got that horrible bravado machismo inside of me, and drawing off that much. So apart from if you paint graffiti or if you do live art. So I was doing live art. Did Secret Walls? Have you heard of Secret Walls?
No, I've not actually. No.
Right. So two people have price boards, get a couple of markers in, you've got 90 minutes. Best drawing wins, basically.
It sounds a lot like an event that happens, company event, community-based project that we get involved with called Battle Lines in Peterborough. A lot of the people, do you know, like corporate and those kind of street artists down there?
Who's it?
Sorry?
Who was it?
Corporate?
Oh, I'm terrible with names. I don't know what I asked.
I
know people. But they're doing Secret Walls in Birmingham. I lived in London at the time, but I'd go to Birmingham quite a lot. Like I said, it was a really nice place to paint. I didn't really have a proper home, so it was quite nice to just travel around places. And I did Secret Walls there, and I met a guy who's really inspirational for me. He's called Ricky Ma. and he got involved in that, and he's sick at drawing, sick of painting. Like his ego's beyond mine. Like he's massive, leg, and yeah, it's from Nottingham, and yeah, I was speaking to him after, and he was the best at drawing there, and he beat one of my mates at drawing, and afterwards, everyone was a bit funny because he wasn't local. People were a bit funny because I weren't local as well. And I went to him, I was like, well, your drawing weren't all that. And I like said it was this, that, and the other. And we had a bit of a laugh. Developed a bit of a love and hate relationship. And he's like, I draw for money, you should come draw for me. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a go, I'll do whatever. And and to test my mettle, he sent me into like a meeting with like, it's like the biggest dairy company in Europe.
Okay.
They were developing products. They make stuff like Muller yogurts, and like they own all that stuff. Massive parent company. And he goes, right, you're the only artist there. There's like 10 execs, a little tiny room in this like quite cringe sort of innovation space. And he's like, you're going to design 10 new products from today. And I was like, oh, easy. And he's like, yeah, you got to do just like 50 drawings. No big deal. And I went in there and I was like, how on like trainers and like I forgot to take any paper, so I had to take some paper out the printer when I got there, and I had like felt tips and like I had terrible stuff, and then yeah, and I designed 10 products for him that day, and I was terrified. Like I always been quite lucky and never been scared. Like I'd been through some really scary stuff at some points, but like art-wise, I always felt so free doing that. But there, I was, and even live art, I don't care. I don't care if I do it bad or good. I'd rather get booed off stage than win. And and I was there, and they were like, right, we're putting I can't remember what it was like. We're putting £15 million investment into these, and I was like that's more money I've thought of in my life. Like, and I was like, well, what ones are you going to pick? And they were like, well, you know, the ones that look best in the illustrations, from what people say. And then I had to like understand their business better than they do, and then draw it like a picture. And I drew it. I'll send them through after, but like if you want. And then their products now, like a couple of them are still products, and it's just amazing, like seeing how it so relies on art still. Like, and that when I went there, I did probably 50 drawings that day. Probably 35 of them were rubbish, and 15 good ones, and yeah, and I got nice money at the end of the day, and I got, you know, I wasn't mad money, but I for me going in doing drawing I don't care about, don't put my name on it, no ego, no nothing. I walked out a headache, and he was like, smashed it, and from that I just started doing a few more of those. A lot of it's word of mouth, weirdly, but companies like Scriberia, they take on new people. Ricky's company stopped now because he's gone to teach in uni because he's sold out. But yeah, it's cool. There's loads of stuff there, but I think a lot of them use AI now, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, that was really fun times for me, and I'd end up getting flown around Europe in like seeing these mad buildings for like these companies, and then you get welcomed into their little world, and then just for doing drawing, it's mad, isn't it? So weird.
That is really cool. That is really cool.
Yeah, it was all right.
You're like, yeah, but it was what it is.
I think it sounds. I look back at it quite romantically, but there's a lot of time, like you're in a hotel, or you're chatting to people that are just annoying business people quite a lot. But it was really cool when you've done a drawing, and then you walk into a supermarket 6 months later, and it's there on a shelf.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, it's like how serious is that?
Yeah.
Well, serious.
Yeah.
Or,
yeah.
I got some like, and they call it visual communication, which is something I'm really into. So it's like you're communicating beyond language through artwork. So I really like drawing as a communication tool, and love like propaganda and cartoons and all that sort of stuff. And because after I'd done a drawing, you can send it to anyone in the world. Like, it's not just everyone in that room who understands it.
No.
It's beyond language. Like, you can just I worked some like wicked projects, like ones that I love, and because I had a bit of background in health, I'd get a lot of health jobs. They're quite nice. Did a nice job with like the World Health Organization and a company, and it was about, I don't remember, like in Brazil they were getting like loads of babies getting sick from like mosquitoes and stuff. And the Zika virus it's called, and a few other things. And I worked with them about, and I was the only artist there. And like, I was working with scientists, engineers, like, you know, amazing brains. And then the thing that was important at the end is me drawing a stupid picture of like a mosquito, and it was like choking the world or something. It was like choking. And they were like, sick, we can use that. Like, and then they drew it and then put it out to like on the TV there and stuff. It wasn't my drawing, but it was my idea. And then you think like, actually, like, there's such a power in that drawing. Like, and it's something that you can't communicate very well. That the mosquito is not very nice.
No.
I'm going off. Sorry.
No. AI. I was going to pick your brains about AI. Do you have any thoughts on AI? And do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Like, do you think it's or maybe is it just a development for the artistic community / maybe not so artistic?
I mean, I don't know how much I care about it. I don't think I do. I like the democratization of art. Like, I really like that someone can have no skill and then they can still make something that they want. I quite like that, I think. But then they do miss the beauty of developing their craft, and I think that's a really important part of artistry. I don't think I've ever seen a piece of AI art that I thought was interesting. But then again, I might have seen art I thought was interesting that was AI. So I think,
you don't know these days, do you?
Yeah. I think you can sort of tell. I think you can really read a bit of soul into drawing if you're into it as a communication tool. I don't know. I'm not doom and gloom about stuff. I think it's mad that we're utilizing computer power to make art and using humans to do stuff that's automated. I think that's a bit weird. Like, I don't think I'm too spiritual, but I'm quite interested in it. I think it's weird to only consume stuff that's soulless. I think it's probably not good for people. I think the internet in general is might be evil. I don't know. It might just seem it because humans are nice, you know, and it's just inhuman, you know. So it's I don't think it's doom and gloom. I think there is potential of losing some corporate jobs on it and commercial work. I think that's much worse for like journalism. I think people who work in creative writing, they're in a right old state over AI because that's taken a lot of their work of like copywriting and stuff. Like, that's really gone. I'm in two minds about it. You know, it was one step back for me that was the problem that I found difficult. Like, because I'm really into like history of cartoons, especially political cartoons, drawn cartoons, and propaganda. And I think like a lot of major world events can be put down to the artwork associated with it, like more than people realize, you know. And for me, like, cartooning changing to memes was more massive for me because it took it away from the artist, and then you can create something that's got real like socio-political power as a political cartoon would without being able to draw. Like, I found that a bit more difficult to deal with. Because I don't really care how pretty a picture looks. Like, I don't care that much. Like, if it's communicating something nice, I think that's really smart. And then my way of dealing with the memes thing was like, oh, actually, it democratizes it. The more people can create, then that's better, right? So, so I sort of dealt with that a bit. I mean, I think that's gone off the deep end now, where stuff doesn't make sense. But I think that's come with it not being creative led. I think I'll probably go backwards at some point. Like, illustration and cartooning will get a lot bigger again. I think probably the same with AI. You know, it's just a rehash of stuff other people have done. So it's not. Well, that's what we all do, right? But I think it's still. But it's still, there's no creative idea there, even through the prompts. And I've used it not for work, but I think it's funny, like when you use DALL-E and stuff, or the one on Bing. I wrote a whole alternative history on a folk tradition of a rabbit cult, so that's quite good. And then I could create 20 pieces of supporting artwork within 20 minutes. So it's like, why not? You know, I'm not going to sit down and draw. But yeah, I'm not doom and gloom. I sort of see both sides. I think a lot of it's boring and rubbish, but I also think it's good that more people can create.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it? What do you think?
I think it's useful in certain circumstances. I think, as you say, it is just rehashing stuff that people have already done, and I think I understand the fear that comes with a lot of stuff, especially in the field like graphic design, for example. Or what is my computer doing there? Okay, we're good. I'm back. My computer just popped up with something. I was like, what is this?
It's annoyed because you're mouthing off computers.
Yeah. Yeah, it knows it's listening. But yeah, I think it's useful in certain circumstances to like, for example, I've used it for work in a sense of finding keywords for search terms for like Google Analytics, all that kind of stuff. I think it's really useful, like ChatGPT and all that kind of stuff. However, I understand the fear of how maybe I think in the art world, you, as you say, you need that time to work on your own practice, and you need that time to figure out maybe the reason why that is like that is because of this and that and the other, and you need that time to work on it in your own head. Whereas if you've got a software that's just doing it for you, you might create something you have no understanding of where it's originally come from, and it could. I think it's there's a lot of worry on that side of things.
It's just it's similar to a lot of stuff in the modern world. I don't want to get into it that much, but it's like looking at the result rather than the journey of it. So it's like the result's nice and stuff, but it doesn't really matter. Like if you've spent 200 hours learning how to draw, that's 200 hours well spent. You know, and you've learnt a lot about yourself. Like you're proud of yourself, and you've humbled yourself, like by being rubbish, and you know, all of that process was much more important than the end result. And if you're going straight to the end result, like it's valueless other than the surface. So it's but it's weird what you're saying. How you use it for discovering stuff for analytics. So it's like you're using a software to pander to another software. Like, so what are you doing? Like, just you know, it's but that's not your fault. But it's like societally, what are we doing? If someone was being to use a software to trick another software into a software finding your thing more easily.
I completely agree with you.
Like, maybe that time would have been better spent speaking to 10 people and showing them your sketchbooks. You know what I mean? So it's I think there will be a big backswing. Hopefully there will, of people who are just sick of this alternative world. You know, I think a lot of people go.
Yeah, I think that's
That's
natural that it will go that way as well, just simply because we've only got so much data for these softwares to work off. So by
yeah.
stopping creating, it could be a tricky biscuit, I like to call it.
Well, I mean, I mean, AI will never create an art revolution. You know,
No.
it will never create a new school of art. It will never create a new school of writing. Um, it will never do that. But what it can do is just, you know, it's all right. I don't care. I don't think, if I'm being honest.
That's fair enough. That is
And
completely
if
fair
it's
enough.
if I find it weird when people use it for a sketch. Like you see that a lot in people who do spray painting now. So is they'll use the AI to make a sketch for them, and then they go paint it.
Yeah.
There's a funny one recently where two guys did pretty much the same mural at a
Okay.
festival, and it's just because they both AI'd it.
No way.
I think that's pretty funny. But also, you see people on Instagram like posting graffiti that ain't real. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. That is really weird. Sorry, I'm
I've got
having.
nothing against them. You know, you do you, but it is weird.
Yeah, yeah. Um, it's a very strange world we're living in these days. Like it's it's just weird. But I think you just need to adapt with the times, don't you? I think take a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and then see what happens.
Namaste.
Namaste.
But I think, I mean, I'm sure portrait painters said the same when the camera come out.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and now the greatest portraits ever are taken on camera. So it's like, I guess it just it changes, doesn't it? Like everything changes and develops. Like, you know, would Da Vinci take a photo? Probably.
I think.
Would he spend all his time sketching? Or just take a photo?
I think he'd take pictures. I think he's quite a mechanical fella.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. AI. I think, but I think that you give it more credence the more you speak about it. Like, you know, I've seen friends go mental about it, especially in the like that innovation drawing stuff. And I get they're losing jobs. Like, I absolutely understand that. But like, it's only a computer. Like, it ain't my boss. Like, and like I say, it's the it's that liberty thing again. Like, if everyone is doing stuff, like I found it really, really freeing never putting work on Instagram. Like, because that algorithm stuff, people lose their minds over. Like, I was speaking to a really good friend of mine. I painted with him for years, sick drawer. I've done loads of stuff with him, and he wrote me a message that was 3,000 words long about how to trick the algorithm into showing more people your work and what you need to do to your work to do this and that and the other. Well, I don't need to do nothing to my work apart from what I want to do. Like, and if no one sees it ever, I don't care. Like, it's not the be all and end all. Like, you need to. I think of it more like a gallery, and if I walked into a gallery and they're like, well, we're only going to let 10 people into the gallery to see your work because it doesn't conform to this, that, and that. You wouldn't show your work with them, would you? No. So it's the power has moved, and the entire reason for that is what I hate to keep coming back to, but what I said earlier is like it's your expression of liberty. Like most of your freedoms and liberties are completely gone, and if your only one left is creating, and creative people feel like they have to conform to this algorithm to survive, then that liberty disappears as well. So you, as impossible as it is, you have to ignore it. And AI is one of those things you have to ignore. Like, it's like, rather than spending half hour thinking, oh, well, you know, Dali could have made this better than I could, go outside. Like, simple.
Yeah.
And it's not about what it can do, it's about how it makes you feel, I suppose.
Yeah.
And if it has so much power over you, it's making you stressed or making you feel less of an artist, It's only a computer, you know. You still beat it. You switch it off.
I think a thing as well is if you feel maybe that it's like affecting your work or whatever, it's going to change things, it's going to completely ruin your career, for example. I think the best thing to do in that situation is learn about it, learn what you can do, and use it to your own advantage, if that makes sense. So, you know, maybe you could actually even, I know it's kind of the opposite of what we just kind of been saying, but you could try and mess with it and see if it can improve things. For example, I've seen artists who've put their own work into AI and then started making AI draw the backgrounds. It's a collaboration between their own artwork and what AI has done to it, and it's just interesting to see what it does. So I think there's a bit of a back and forth with it. Just have a conversation with a computer, although it is a kind of scary.
Oh, ignore that. Have a conversation with another person. Like,
oh, that too.
Feel better for it. And it's something I don't like giving a lot of time to. But same as Instagram. Same as Facebook. I don't have Facebook. I don't have any social medias now. Like, I still have my pages up. I don't interact with them much. I certainly don't look at anything on there. Like, look at what my friends have been doing. I don't know. I feel AI is annoying. I feel algorithms more dangerous for artists because it has such an effect on them. Like, because if you're quantifying how much their work is liked, like, that's so damaging for their brains.
Yeah, completely.
And I feel like it's something you and have a laugh of it, do what you want, but it's it does, again, it's like everything else. It doesn't take away from your art. Just do you.
No, you do your thing. You do what makes you happy. Yeah, and although everybody, please do make sure to have a look at Spal's work. Please do. I know he's like, don't, yeah, whatever. I know you don't care, but equally have a look at it.
It's not about not caring. I don't think, like, because
it's not as maybe not caring isn't the right word. Maybe it's more.
Quantity doesn't count over quality.
No.
So if I love it if I'm with a kid, sit there and they're like, "Oh, draw a duck in a hat." And you draw a duck in a hat, and to them that is magic.
Yeah.
Like, it is like a genie popping up and granting you a wish.
Yeah.
Like that, and that I care a lot more about than getting 500 likes on a picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Off bots, and it's
yeah.
And it's software pandering to software to trick a real human into thinking they're more or less liked. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist or wacko or whatever, but I just think it's just obviously not good for you to go obsessing over it.
Yeah, this is why we
are obsessive. So it's because you have to be obsessive to learn how to do something.
Yeah,
like artwork wise. So it's such a quicksand for them. It's like sucking their time up. Or go paint graffiti. Like, that's a really good one, because it's a really good one for that artistic part, because especially if you go out painting on your own, not that I'm advocating doing illegal stuff or whatever, but if you go and paint, like, the person who's building it doesn't want you to paint it, the police don't want you to paint it, your parents don't want you to paint it, your family don't want you to paint it, the other graffiti writers don't even want you to paint it. Like, no one wants it there apart from you, and you saying, I won't say the word, but forget everyone else. Like, I am doing what I want to do because I want to put my name on that wall, or I want to draw a face on that wall, or whatever, for the sole reason that I want to. And that is revolutionary for your brain. Absolutely revolutionary. And I worry, like, that fear of all those things not liking it is what's gone into every artist because of Instagram and stuff.
Oh, completely. Like, I think it's hard enough getting into the mindset of just like opening a brand new sketchbook, and there's like that I think we did a video on it. It was like the fear of the first page and all that kind of stuff. I think sometimes just give yourself a bit of a shake and just
Who's on your first page?
Sorry?
Who's on your first page?
Of my sketchbook?
Yeah.
Well, I often find myself drawing squiggles. Like I'll draw loads and loads of squiggles, and then I'll like throw bits of colour here and there into it, and then just see what happens. I go through phases.
What do you draw for? Do you draw because it's therapeutic, or do you draw because
Yeah.
That's a bit different. Getting into flow state as quickly as possible.
Yeah, because I actually started out when I was at college. I did an awful lot of drawing and did a lot of like I did a really I'm obsessed with it. A picture of this parrot, absolutely loved it. And like mountainscapes and like things around us basically, which I then worked into and turned them into like prints, different types of screen prints, different types of layered things. So my work used to be a lot more structured, whereas now, because I've got all my other stuff going on, like working for Artgecko Sketch and like doing photography stuff.
Doesn't take away from your art, but yeah.
No, I know.
When did you make that work that you were really proud of? So how many years ago was that?
Oh.
Without giving too much away.
I want to say.
Okay, it doesn't matter, but like if you think of when you created that artwork to where the algorithm is now, and you would have put that piece that you were so proud of up, but because it didn't fit what it likes to be pushed within that moment, or you wrote the wrong hashtag on it, like no one saw
flops,
it.
and then you feel naff because you're like, well, I've just spent so much time doing it, or not even flops. It just maybe doesn't get the right reception.
It's really interesting you said that, because that is how it feels. It feels like you're already a performing artist, famous in the world, because it pushes you straight away. And you put something and it gets none of the little heart emojis that come up.
Yeah. It's like, what's the point of even trying if I can't win over this software? Yeah, I get that.
And then that's when you start looking into the algorithms and you start creating work solely for that. And then that liberty is lost because you're not creating anymore. You're working to a brief.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're not even getting paid for it.
Yeah, this is why a lot of the stuff that we do at Artgecko Sketch is kind of, I think we share a lot of stuff on stories, and it's not about how your followers are. It's not about how technically incredible your work is. It's just we use this platform as a way to just spread the word and get the word out about artists, and we don't really care about, what's the word, if you've got 10 million followers in the world. We just want you to create artwork and enjoy, and we just love sharing work basically. So we try really hard to keep along with that mindset, and I think that's our main goal. I think that's what we notice. A lot of brands do collaborations with all these artists and stuff, and they do it because it makes their algorithm better, and then it makes things go viral and all this stuff. But we just want people to be happy.
Why you see people who do repetitive work get a lot of work. So you'll see people that do really simple to understand work, that the gimmick's over straight away, and really repetitive, and you can apply it to loads of different stuff. Like that's why that gets bumped up, because it's got more add value, or simpler add value. And it's sad, I think. But we do a similar thing with Gums and Tongue, like with Sketch Club. You just come along, like, and it doesn't matter as long as you draw. Like Fight Club, you've got to draw, and then and then we get a really nice mix of people. People who are designers, artists, illustrators, like really good in their field and stuff. A lot of people who paint murals, and then people just draw in the bedroom. And people that and go there, and everyone's human, and you just go and just have the loveliest time. It's all stupid, and it doesn't matter how good you are or not, because you might have drawn the most amazing portrait you've ever drawn in your life, but someone there drew, I don't know, a dinosaur on a football or whatever, and that was funny. it's the only way of taking all the ego out of it is making it fun, and that's really nice. And a real part of artist life that's difficult is the lack of sociability, and I think it does address that a little bit as well.
Right, let's bash through these because we're going off on tangents here. Let's do a quick fire one. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Oh, I don't really know.
Good.
No.
Very
What's
good.
your
No, no
what
way.
pizza
My pizza.
Don't think about it. You're lying.
I'm not. No, I'm
Did you
thinking.
say
It
it
depends
straight
on the
away?
mood. It depends where I'm going. If I'm going to like a proper pizza place, I get a margarita. I know that's a bit of a cop out, but
No,
you can
that's how you
always
tell.
test a good pizza from your
Yeah.
margarita.
No, that's how you tell. Yeah. Yeah. Always order that first time you go to pizza place, just a margarita.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. Or if I'm getting like a dirty takeaway pizza, it's a tuna sweet corn, which I think is controversial.
That's fine, isn't it? Yeah. You know what I like? Another radical one. Fiorentina.
Oh, yeah.
Really into that. Around my way, they used to call it the Popeye.
Popeye. Okay.
Yeah, because it's spinach and it's got like one eye because of the egg.
Of course, yeah. I didn't even think about that. Nice. Very good. Okay, actually, I'm going to rephrase this slightly. If you could talk to your past self and give your past self advice, what would you say?
I don't know if it's I don't know if there's a kid, I'd probably say be more happy. It's fine.
Okay, to be happy. Yeah.
Although it'll be all right. I think I don't know. As my young artist self, I don't know. I think I've been all right. It's probably just try more different stuff. You know, and just be kind. You know, just do. I think I try and do that anyway, but like just be as kind as you can. It always pays off. Like, yeah, and don't compare yourself. Like, I don't feel like I ever have that much, but there's been times where my close friends have like stacked mad money in over 6 months and stuff, and on art jobs, and you know, be happy for them. You know, build them up and be proud of them. Like, it doesn't take away from you. Don't get frustrated.
If you could be any art material, what would you be and why? Are you okay?
If I be any art material,
Yeah.
like I don't know. I'd be a can of chrome burner paint.
Nice.
With a fat cap on top. Most fun one. Anything can happen. Yeah, I guess. Well, what are you saying? You be
a watercolor pencil.
What colour?
Like maybe like a bluey green, like a teal, if you can get that, or maybe both, maybe the blue and a green, so you can mix the two. Blue and a green pencil.
You don't want to be separated. You could be a tin of all of them.
Could be, yeah. Because the possible, what is the word? Unlimited possibilities. Right.
Do you feel like you need watering down?
Sorry?
Do you feel like you need watering down?
Depends on the mood.
Okay.
Depends how many coffees I've had.
Yeah, cool. Good question.
Sorry, it's a weird one, that one.
If you could be any artwork, what would you be? Any famous artwork?
Oh, a Salvador Dali piece, without a doubt.
Yeah. Which one would you be?
Probably I remember going to the Salvador Dali Museum in Barcelona, and you wandered
Oh, yeah.
in, and it was like a 3D piece, and you looked at it, and it was like a load of different objects that made a face, and you viewed it, and it was like 3D and all this kind of stuff. I think it'd be that one because it's really weird.
I think his 3D and sculptural work is amazing.
Yeah,
Like, he did a collaboration with Disney that never went out,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that was bananas.
Really,
Absolutely, like really worth a look. That
I'll have to have a
um,
look at that one. That sounds great.
yeah,
I love Salvador Dali. He's great.
into I just tell you what I like is not a favourite all time, but of the classics, I like Goya. You know,
Oh,
'cause he
okay.
done sick at drawing and sick at painting. So, and you feel like soul in the picture. You know what I mean? Like you just look at it. Like I love Witch's Sabbath painting. Like it's just so dark and like makes you scared to look at it. And then really, like you got back then, 'cause it wasn't like cameras. Like he went and did drawings of like war and
Yeah.
horrors, like absolute horrors. And I'm not like a massive horror fan. I don't mind horror, but I just think it's a bit cheesy sometimes. But like I just felt like drawings of that such power of like just understanding that I probably shouldn't do war anymore. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with a lot of, especially the more classic work, although you do get it these days as well, the emotion and like the impact that it has on you as a person. I think that's like the main attraction
Well, it
to
just
work.
communicates an idea, right?
Yeah, just how it makes you feel, how what you take from the work. I think that's kind of one of the big things that's great about artwork. It's like you're collaborating with your own audience. It's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Mm.
Communicates, right?
Right.
Who I love now,
Oh,
David Chimp. You know David Chimp?
Oh, no, I don't
My
actually.
favourite artist, a greatest British artist. It's a bit weird at the minute. It's gone a bit conspiracy wise, but I quite like it. I'll speak to him about it a bit. But it's just, yeah, just like gets an idea in his head and he can just communicate in just 2 lines. It's just so
Yeah,
good.
that's sick. That's really sick. I will definitely have a look at him. What's your favorite cheese?
Gouda.
Gouda, nice, very nice.
Yeah.
I love the Gouda. It's a
Nice
good
melt ratio. Nice in the sandwich. Elite on top of like lasagna.
Never thought of putting it on lasagna actually.
Yeah,
I always go
good
cheddar or mozzarella.
Yeah, level up. Gouda it.
Yeah, I will next time. Next time I will lasagna. Sounds great. Right. I think mine change all the time, but my go-to is either a really stinky. No, although I do like a baby bar, they're good. I like really stinky blue cheeses. But I also love like those like Boursin garlicky creamy ones as well.
I was into blue cheese, but one day I can't remember where I was, but I was in London. It was next to the river, and it was like a blue cheese burger, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll have that. That sounds nice. And they gave me it. I didn't look, and I bit it, and the blue cheese was thicker than the patty.
Oh,
and it was like
a beast.
I imagine that's what someone feels like when they've overdosed on heroin. I was like, that's something I quite liked. I'll never want it again.
Wow, that's packs a punch, that more than a punch, it seems.
Yeah. I've never had it since.
That's right.
Cool.
Well, that's that. Sorry.
Sorry. Sign off.
Well, yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, we are running out of time here. Sadly, however enjoyable it has been to talk to you and get to know you. Thanks so much for joining, Val. I've been Natasha, and I hope everyone listening has thoroughly enjoyed it. I think the short.
No one's still listening.
No one is still here. No, what is the point of this anymore? Honestly,
yeah.
But I think to summarize, ignore the algorithm, ignore how art can sometimes involved in social media can be a pain in the backside. Just do your own thing, talk to people, be happy, live your life.
do whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah, exactly. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe and do all of those like annoying algorithm things.
Ignore the algorithm. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, right? Although don't care, don't do whatever you want, but also like this. And make sure to head to, I'm gonna put links there like that. Everyone, and yeah, make sure to check out Bal's work. Yeah, and thanks so much, Bal. Have a lovely rest of the day.
Come to Sketch Club. That'd be nice.
Yes.
We do another event called Graphiators if we're going soon. So I'll link that as well, but I can't bother to talk about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
Yeah, link it as and when. Right.
All right, Natasha, that's lovely. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Have a lovely rest of your day, and thanks for checking in, everyone. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.
See you later. Bye.